Gucken wir uns hier mal ein Video an. Why German sound so aggressive? Ich bin mal gespannt.
We are German, and as such, we are always self-conscious about getting angry in public.
What?
Our language is quite the troll.
I can do an evil old Hausfrau. Ess dein Schnitzel, sonst kriegst du keinen Nachtisch.
Deutschland ist ein Land
Was?
ut Stodluten.
Na ja, lass die Hunde hocken. Nimm an wegen Schritt. Glaubst du, dass die Deutsche keinen Humor hat, ha?
German sounds harsh and aggressive.
Ja.
Guten Tag! Ich will ein kleinen Boten haben, bitte schön! Das schwarze Boten mit dem Käse und das Schinken, bitte schön!
It's a disgusting language. Nobody should ever speak it. It sounds like typewriters eating tinfoil being kicked down the stairs. And somebody is talking to you in German. They're saying, and you think, what is happening to you from behind? How can we make it stop?
Someone, somewhere, is always making fun of our language. But
Das stimmt.
why does German sound so aggressive to the rest of the world?
Mal das Source!
The German language is part of the Germanic branch of the Indo-Germanic language family. Besides German, Dutch and English are also Germanic languages. But while English sounds gentle to many people, German is often described as spat, barked, ugly, dry, cold, harsh, yapping, and military.
Ja.
German is rarely perceived as beautiful. There are several reasons for this.
Das stimmt aber.
1. Linguistic characteristics.
German has a lot of gutturals and glottal stops. They can make the language sound harsh. Let's start with guttural sounds. German has the special ach sound, which sounds very throaty. It can be heard in the German words fauchen, which means to hiss, or krach, which means noise. These words are often difficult for non-German speakers to pronounce because these sounds don't exist in widespread languages like English. Next, glottal stops.
Okay.
Germans pronounce vowels very strongly, especially when they appear at the beginning of a word. This causes the vocal cords to open suddenly and all the air that has built up to escape at once. Take the word apple. The German word is Apfel. You can hear it quite well throughout this example. Ich esse oft Äpfel und anderes Obst. In many other languages, the words of a sentence are spoken in a flow. In German, sometimes there's a mini pause before each individual word. Here you can hear the difference. Everything is alright. Alles ist in Ordnung. Of course, I'm overdoing it a bit here, but you get the idea. These breaks can make German sound a bit barked. Some sounds exist in almost all languages, such as M and B. Others are quite unique and only appear in a few languages. In English, there's the diagraph th, for example in thanks. Germans, including me, often struggle to pronounce that. Italian, which is often considered to be a beautiful, melodious language, uses mainly vowels and only a few exotic sounds. German, on the other hand, has many rare, complex sounds.
Das stimmt
which
aber
might-
ja. Weil das Dingens ist, Italienisch ist tatsächlich, dich kann jemand auf Italienisch beschimpfen und aufs Übelste beleidigen. Und es hört sich immer so an, als würde er gerade mit dir flirten. Genauso Französisch. Das ist auch immer so. Französisch hört sich auch immer an, als würde gerade irgendwie auf einer Koralle die Sonne aufgehen. Und im Endeffekt beschimpft er dich aber gerade übelst und deine Mutter und alle deine Nachfahren. Oder Vorfahren. Das stimmt tatsächlich.
might come off as strange. We use so-called umlaute, such as ä, ö, and ü. Again, often hard to pronounce for non-German speakers. And there's the sz. It looks like this and is essential for our all-time favorite word, Scheiße. The sz is used to indicate the hard s sound. Plus, many German words just have a lot of consonants. For example, Strumpf, or a classic selbstverständlich, which means of course. German is complicated, and as humans we often shy away from complexity. But isn't
Unabhängigkeitserklärungen.
the real challenge to transform complexity into something enjoyable and intriguing? That's kind of the ethos of this channel and also the essence of today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant offers interactive games, puzzles, and a bunch of resources to teach you about subjects like tech or science. They
Okay.
customize content to fit your needs and let you explore at your own pace.
Yay,
They
vielleicht
have a
ist es
fantastic
einfacher
new
als
course about computer
Overwatch.
science fundamentals that we
Vielleicht soll ich das
personally
spielen
enjoyed
künftig
a
im
lot.
Stream.
If
Oder
that's
das
not
machen
your
im
cup of
Stream,
tea,
einfach
there's a
lernen.
vast library
Vielleicht bin
of
ich
other
darin
stuff,
besser.
and new lessons are added every month. To try everything Brilliant has to offer free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/fern or click on the link in the description.
Okay.
The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Let's jump back in. Hit it, Cybermirko.
Infinite Words.
Infinite Words.
This is a not made up, absolutely real.
Was? Rinder, Kennzeichnungs-, Etikettierungs-, Überwachungsaufgabenübertragungsgesetz. Was, das Wort gibt's wirklich? Rinder, Kennzeichnungs-, Etikettierungs-, Überwachungsaufgabenübertragungsgesetz. So, gute Nacht. Deutsch ist so eine tolle Sprache im Übrigen. Es ist super. Oh, ich hasse Deutsch. Immer noch ein mega cooles Wort tatsächlich. Es ist unfassbar, wie kompliziert die deutsche Sprache sein kann.
German word with 79 letters. Rinderkennzeichnungs-, Fleischetikettierungs-, Überwachungsaufgabenübertragungsgesetz. We will not bother you with what it means here. What we're trying to tell you is this. German has a high number of compound words. These can be really cool because the word often literally describes what it means. For example, you have a house and a Tier, an animal, and together it is a house tier, a pet. Though as a people, we seem to have made it our goal to put together as many words as possible. This has led to many long and insanely complex creations.
Bundesausbildungsförderungsgesetz. Arbeitsunfallversicherung, ja. Das ist
Mark Twain
unfassbar.
already made fun of this word and many others in 1880 in his famous essay, The Awful German Language. He writes, "These things are not words, they are alphabetical processions, and the inventor of them ought to have been killed." And because the words are weird, a lot of non-German speakers find them very entertaining.
Unabhängigkeitserklärungen, Nahrungsmittelunverträglichkeit. Ja,
They have
das ist furchtbar.
something weirdly over-precise and orderly about them. Combined with their guttural and glottal stop consonant-loaded delivery, it can give them a military touch. Ironically, we have a word for this. Konsonantenschlacht. Every German-speaking actor or model has to do the German word quiz on an American talk show at least once.
Bezirksschornsteinfegermeister.
Schmetterlingsbeinschlag.
Backpfeifengesicht.
Albeit this last one being an absolute banger of a word, meaning a face that's just inviting a good slap like Jimmy Fallon's, these shows only strengthen the image of the difficult and weird German language. And this leads us to
3. Prejudices.
What do people think of when they think of Germany?
And they're saying to you something like, we have been better, but we're very vibrant in the
Na, was habt ihr gedacht, wenn ihr an Deutschland denkt? Na, was habt ihr gedacht?
theater and arts and so on. All the time you listen to this, you're thinking, Hitler, 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 Hitler.
during the two world wars, the German naturally became the enemy in many countries. German-American relations changed drastically. In the US, the teaching of German was banned. German programs were no longer allowed to be played on the radio. Authorities called for a boycott of German goods. Streets and even Sauerkraut were renamed. Hitler is possibly history's most terrifying figure. Germany's history, once so gruesome, it is rightly so echoed, processed, and
Ja, das
analyzed
stimmt.
countless times in all forms of media, so it may never be forgotten. According to many linguists, the perception of the German language is in part the result of these historical and socio-cultural contexts.
Ja, das kann gut
German
sein, ja.
might have an image problem. Linguists would point out that you shouldn't judge a language based on its sound. What sounds strange to one person is beautiful to another.
Ich finde, Deutsch ist keine schöne Sprache. Finde ich wirklich nicht. Ich finde, Deutsch ist eine der schlimmsten Sprachen, die es gibt. Englisch ist mir 1000-mal lieber als Deutsch. Ich hasse Deutsch tatsächlich. Was toll ist für jemanden, der Deutsch spricht und so, aber ich mag die deutsche Sprache wirklich nicht. Das ist so, es ist teilweise so kompliziert und grammatikalisch etc. Das hat einen Grund, warum viele mit Deutsch nicht klarkommen, weil die Grammatik alleine schon kompliziert hat. Erklär mal, warum es der Kühlschrank ist, aber das Auto oder die Blume. Also das ist halt, allein da fängt es ja praktisch schon an, wo du praktisch das ja völlig normal ja lernst, von Kindesbeinen an, dass es halt das Auto ist oder die Blume und nicht der Auto. Weißt du? Aber es ist halt trotzdem, warum ist jetzt das Auto, die Blume, das Licht, aber die Glühbirne? Also es gibt ja nicht mal eine Gemeinsamkeit. Also die Glühbirne und das Licht und die Lampe. What? Why? Also, wenn du damit nicht aufgewachsen bist, du hast halt auch überhaupt gar keine Chance. Null.
And if you label a language as ugly, you might miss out on fascinating insights into other worlds of thought and sound. So lastly, let us introduce you to some beautiful German words you can pretentiously incorporate into your Sprachgebrauch. Fernweh describes the opposite of homesickness, the longing for distant places. Weltschmerz is a feeling of knowing that the world will always fail to meet your expectations because of the prevalence of pain existing throughout it. And lastly, Treppenwitz, a joke or thought that you think of too late, just as you walked out the door, already on the stairs.
Treppenwitz? Ich habe noch nie in meinem Leben das Wort Treppenwitz gehört. Kennt das jemand von euch? Treppenwitz? Ich habe das noch nie gehört. Interessant, man lernt offenbar noch was hier.
Like I'm sure there's a nice way to finish the video here.
Now
but I guess it just won't come to me
prepare
until
for
we
battle.
hit publish.
Select your hero.
Nice.